while there was no episode of the picks a week ago, I did make picks. They were not very good. I won't get into them. We're just going to glance over last week and get into the picks here for week 4. It is already week 4 of the college season. Most of the non-conference garbage is done and over with. Thank the Lord. Which means every game is more important. Let's get into it. The defending national champions, yes, that's right, the UFC Knights, are 2-0 this season. They host the Florida Atlantic Fighting Lane Kiffins in Orlando, or from Orlando. FAU hasn't really impressed me. UCF is coming off a shutout. I'm just going to go with the Knights here. Washington State and USC. USC hasn't really played all that well. They've lost 2 straight, losing last week to Texas. It'd be easy to go with the Cougars here, but I'm going to go with USC. I think they bounce back. Michigan State and Indiana. Good old Big Ten play. Michigan State's coming off a bye. They lost to Arizona State their last time out. They're only favored by 4.5. I'm going to go with the Hoosiers at home versus the Spartans. The Auburn Tigers lost a heartbreaker a week ago to LSU. They're big favorites at home. Not going to waste time, Auburn. The Florida Gators travel to Neyland Stadium to take on Rocky Top in SEC play. Florida always seems to find a way to beat the Volunteers. I'll go Gators, but I think it's going to be close. Ho-ho, Wisconsin. I hadn't really trusted the Badgers all year, and they proved me and a lot of other people right by losing to BYU a week ago. I'm actually just going to pick them here. I don't really have a whole lot of logic behind this pick. I'm just feeling Wisconsin. I think they're probably the better team. I picked the Pokies to lose last week against Boise State, but instead they mollywopped the Blue Broncos 44-21. You made me believe, OK State. Don't let me down. Kansas and West Virginia. Will Grier. Enough said. Going Mountaineers here. TCU played well for a half against Ohio State before eventually succumbing to the monster. The Horny Toads have won their last 4 in this rivalry, but Texas breaks that on Saturday. We're going to go hook 'em horns here. Clemson and Georgia Tech. Georgia Tech was one of the last teams in the country, I think the last team in the country, to have Russell Athletic uniforms. This isn't relevant other than Russell Athletic sucks. Clemson wins, obviously. Thought we were done with all these non-conference 30-plus point spreads. Buccos by 100. Why is this game even on my list of peaks? Come on, printerbrackets.com. Former Sooner, Jesus Christ. Stanford and Oregon in a pick'em. Oregon's jersey number's just too big. I'll take Stanford. Arizona State and Washington. Jake Browning's just kind of been average to start 2018, but I'll still take the Huskies at home. I feel like even picking Alabama games at this point is just kind of pointless by now. Y'all know who I'm picking. It's Alabama. But in the last game of the week, I didn't even bother to make a screen graphic for this one, so, you know. Oh, the varsity takes the field in A squared. Nebraska's coming off a loss to Troy. They go to the big house to take on Michigan. Michigan just keeps kind of getting off to slow starts in games. You know, we've had 2 cookies the last 2 weeks, but they really haven't been all that impressive. I mean, they won the game. I guess that's all I can ask for. They'll do the business against the Huskers, and we'll be 3-1 heading into deeper into Big Ten play. Those are the picks. We'll see you next week. Hopefully I have some better games because, man, these ones sucked.